Hi there, this is Dr. John, your physics and math professor, coming to you with another parabola quiz or test style questions. I've written the whole question out in the bottom, just a little abbreviation for it out here. So there's a rectangle that has two sides. One is of length x plus 10 and the other of length 5x minus 4. Those are both measured in centimeters. The area of the rectangle is 72 square centimeters. We're wanting to find x, the value of this x, to the nearest tenth of a centimeter. So I've just sort of sketched it out for you. That's one of the first things to do in a problem like this is sketch it out. So here's a rectangle. One of the sides, doesn't matter which one you call x plus 10 and which one you call 5x minus 4. Just call one and one the other. And then we look at this and we say, okay, what do we know about a rectangle? Well, we know that the area inside is equal to the one side times the other. So if this side was 5 and this side was 6, the area of the rectangle would be 30. We just multiply those two together. So we would do the exact same thing here, only we would do this, 5x minus 4 times x plus 10. That would be the area of this rectangle. Well, let's multiply that all out and see what we get. So we have 5x minus 4, x plus 10. We'll multiply each of the terms out. The first one gives you 5x squared. Then this one times this gives you 50x. Now, this one times both, minus 4x, and this times this, minus 40. Whoops, minus 40. Let me do that again. Minus 40. All right, but what do we know about the area of the rectangle? We know it's equal to 72. So this product here would be equal to 72, or this would be equal to 72. Well, if you look at this now, you say, well, this is sort of handy because it looks sort of like a quadratic equation, except we have some terms to combine, and we could take this 72 and move it to this side. So to do that, I'm going to have this. I'm going to have 5x squared. This one combines with this one to give me plus 46x. And then I'll take 72, and it's going to become negative because it's on this side. So it's going to be negative 40 added to negative 72. Well, 30 plus 70 is 100, so we're going to have 12 more, so it's minus 112. Here we go. And that's all equal to 0, which is really nice now, because now we have it in the basic quadratic form. So we're going to factor this here in a second and see if we can factor it, but I'll just erase a few things, give myself some room to work. All right, I've taken this equation that I just had here, rewrote it right here, put a line between these two so we can separate this question here from this. And I'll erase this portion down here. So it would be nice to try to factor this. Maybe we could do this in a brute force method. So like it would be like something like this, all equal to 0. And in that case, this would probably be a 5x. This would probably be an x. And then one of these is probably positive, one is negative. We don't know exactly which. So let's go back to the answers that are given to us. Maybe they'll give us some tips. So one of the first things that you'll do when you come to a test often is look at the answers that are given in a multiple choice. Check to see which answers are reasonable. Maybe you can eliminate some, making your job a little bit easier. Let's take a look. So if x equals 2, those are reasonable. If x equals 11, that's also reasonable. If x is equal to a negative number here, this number over here, if it's 5 times negative 4, that's going to be minus 20. So this side is going to be negative then. So it's going to be like minus 20 minus 4. So it's going to be minus 24. You can't have a length that has a negative length. So this answer here is out. You can't use that answer. So let's take a look at this other answer over here. If you use minus 11, if you put minus 11 into here, and it's a little bit confusing with all that stuff there. If you put minus 11 into here, this answer is going to be negative. It's going to be negative 1, negative 1.2 or something. So this is not a valid answer either. You stroke that one off. So we're left with these two as possibilities because they don't give us ridiculous lengths for the sides. So let's work through this calculation. One of the answers is x is equal to 2. If x is equal to 2, notice how I tried to brute force factor it. In that case, then this would be x here minus 2. Because x minus 2 here would later on create an x equal to 2. Let's see what happens if I would do that. If I would do that, then what would this number need to be over here? It would need to be a plus. It would need to be half of 112, which is 56. 5x times 5 is 5x squared. That's fine. And then we have 5x times this, that's going to be minus 10x. And then we have this number here, plus 56x. And this number times here, minus 112. So this number at the end works. This number at the beginning works. Let's look at this cross term here. This is going to add up to be 46x, which is this number. So this factoring works perfectly here. Yay. So if this is the case, then we know one of the solutions is x is equal to 2, which works over here. That's one of the solutions. We could probably leave the test right now because this probably is, we only need one of the answers unless they ask for all the right answers. But let's just take a look at this other factor here as well and see what we get. If this right here is equal to 0, in that case, 5x plus 56 would have to equal 0. Take the 56 to the other side. You have 5x equals minus 56. Divide both sides by 5, like this. And what do we get? Let's come over here. We have x equals minus 56 over 5. You could punch this into your calculator, or you could realize that this is 55 over 5 plus 1 over 5 gives me 56 over 5. This is 11 and 1/5. 11 and 1/5. 1/5 is also 0.2. So that's 11.2. However, it's negative because of this negative sign over here. So this answer over here would be one of the answers to the solution as we're solving this quadratic equation. However, because if we plug this into the original values of x or into this original value, they become nonsensical. So we're going to have to throw this answer out, even though it was one of the solutions to our quadratic equation. This one over here is the one that we found here, but this one is negative. So that's why they put these in there as positive and negative, because you might get 11.2 and think that this is an answer. Trying to throw you off a little bit. Always double check your answers for make sure you don't have minus mistakes, and check to make sure that they make sense with the original question. I hope that helped. If it did, like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.